When I started these journeys, I was a man in a dark room trying to find the door. I was at a place in my life where I didn't have direction. I was a rudderless ship. And endurance is like life. You get up every day, you have to fight. You're going to get faced with horrific conditions. You have choices you have to make every day. You have to manage risk. You have to get around obstacles. But it's given me insight that I guess makes me feel incredibly positive. I am just blown away by how resilient we are and how much capability we have. I've held that in because I was so worried that if I said it, the people I'm talking about would not like me anymore and they would kind of push me away. I don't care anymore. I think I was being weighed down by the fact that I felt I wasn't making a difference because I was using the wrong metrics.
What would make you happy?
I somehow want to kind of like push myself down and not recognize that no, I can go out there and I can grind. I'm starting to see more of this incredible power we have within us. Maybe what I've just figured out is how to unleash it.
Matt, you're about to finish your third endurance event riding for a charity. Now, the first endurance event you did in 7 days. Last year you did one that was 100 days. This one's kind of been an in-betweener, and you've raised a lot of money for charity, and you're continuing to raise a lot of money for charity. Is it worth it, what you're doing to raise all this money?
Well, I talked to you a long time ago, Chris, and I said I started this whole crazy putting myself out there, putting my body on the line, because I think I needed a fix. The outcome was larger than just for me. I helped this charity, but in reality, when I started these journeys, I was a man in a dark room trying to find the door to figure out where I would go next. And I think that had a lot to do with my depression. I was at a place in my life where I didn't have direction. I was a rudderless ship. So I jumped onto these endurance events because I felt they would give me relevance again. It would make me feel like I had some stake in the game, and give me some form of almost like a script that I was going to follow again and execute, and like my mission. Up until then, I'd lost that. I felt very empty. I felt very sort of stuck. So it has been worth it, but my idea of what this whole thing was supposed to do has completely changed. It didn't make me the big man on campus, but it's given me insight that I guess makes me feel incredibly positive. I am just blown away by how resilient we are and how much capability we have in it. Last year I'd be scared of a hill or a long ride, and this year I embrace it. It's like, bring it on. Because today I'm going to earn the recognition, or I'm going to earn the donation. So is it worth it? Not for the reasons I thought I was going in for, not for that recognition to be the man on the campus, but it's worth it because it's taught me a lesson. The fact that we've raised probably over $200,000 for charities now, we don't know the final figure, is fantastic. We've helped so many kids, but I've learned so much. Like I've it's a school of endurance, and it's taught me a lot of things. And endurance is like life. You get up every day, you have to fight. You're going to get faced with horrific conditions. You have choices you have to make every day. You have to manage risk. You have to get around obstacles, and you have to course correct as you go. And to me, these missions have become like little mini chapters in my life that have just contributed to what I feel is going to be a better book at the end, hopefully.
Are you still, I'm going to say scared, but when we talked for the the Ride for Change last year. We dove into, you were looking for relevance, and towards the end of it, you seemed a bit more humble, and that it wasn't so much about you as about raising money for charity. And going through all of the Cross Canada Challenge content that you put out, your demeanor is different. You're happier. You smile more. Even how you address the camera, how you're documenting the journey is completely different. And so, where do you find your purpose now?
It's not in the Instagram world. My purpose isn't to get 1,000 likes or 20,000 followers. I never will. We've tried to leverage social media for full benefit. All the channels, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and it's just, I'm not this may sound negative, but it's not. I'm not a commodity that's sought after through these channels. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. So I think I was being weighed down by the fact that I felt I wasn't making a difference because I was using the wrong metrics. I'll never be the Instagram all-star, the David Goggins of Canada. I'm older. I'm not the 25-year-old fitness model, and I think I was using these metrics to measure the impact I was making. And I still some days wonder why people don't follow me, or no new people are following me, or the engagement's not there. I do wonder, because I speak very authentically. What you're hearing, what you're seeing every day out there is me. And I want people to like me. I'm a human being. But not everybody does. And I guess what I've learned, and the reason why I'm more happier now, is I've accepted it. It's not always fun to come to that recognition that you're not going to be this amazingly popular guy in social media world. But at the end of the day, Chris, what I do is very real. I get up every morning and I cycle on my bike 5, 6, 7 hours up these hills through the heat. It's very real. And what you see at the end of those days is very real. I worry about the amount I've raised for those kids. I worry that I'm not doing enough. I worry about all these things. And the only thing I want people to recognize is when they're watching those moments on social media, whether I'm being funny or I'm being serious or I'm being, melancholy, it's all very real. It's who I am. And I would love more people to come to my channels and get value out of it. But I'm okay with it if they don't. I've met some people who have told me I've changed their lives. I've had men and women approach me in the Brick, for example, and say to me, I can't believe your philosophy resonates with me. The way you speak, your story means so much to me. They're just not 10,000 viewers or 10,000 likes on Instagram. They're one individual. I've had individuals come up to me and say, I was a victim of sexual abuse. I've never told anybody else before. I had a man tell me, the only person that knows is my wife. And he came up to me. So how do I look at myself and rate myself? By the number of views on Instagram, or by these meaningful impacts that I'm making on people's lives? And if I can get my head out of the trash can, which is social media, that's a train going through the Rockies right there, ladies and gentlemen. I can be a much happier person. It creeps in sometimes where I'm like, wow, I thought more people would like that reel, or I get more positive feedback. It does. I'm a human being, and I want to be popular. I want people to love me, and it's not going to happen every day, and I just have to accept it. So long story, a long answer to your question. I'm happier because I'm starting to recognize I can't win that game, and I'm not even sure it's the right game to be playing.
How has these three adventures you've gone on as a couple, you and Nicole, how has that impacted your guys' relationship?
Well, it's funny. When we first started it, I think she was dealing with the fallout of my flaws and the mistakes that I've made and some of the mental stuff I was going through. And you really get to know who's on your side when you go through these things. And I'm not talking about the difficulty of riding up hills, or I'm talking about the whole enchilada. Like the fact that she has to take second wheel to me. Sometimes people talk around her. They talk about Heroes Unleashed as Matt Devine. They talk about Matt Devine will be at the Brick this weekend. Well, it's not just Matt Devine, it's Heroes Unleashed. That's why I created that name. The driving of that van, the making sure I have supplies, the phone calls, the bookings, all these things that have to go on. Although they're not in the hot baking sun, they're just as tiring. They're just as exhausting. So, you start to see who's with you in this battle, who's in the trenches with you, and it's been Nicole. And on the opposite hand, I find out so many people, and I hate to be that. I promise myself I want to get negative. They're not good people. They let you down. They let the charity down. They're in it for the wrong reasons. If you say you're going to do something, do it. It's for the charity. And I've held that in because I was so worried that if I said it, the people I'm talking about would not like me anymore, and they would kind of push me away, unfollow me. I don't care anymore. I have absolute zero respect, and I can give you some banging examples, Chris, but I won't, of senior people who say one thing and don't deliver for kids who've been sexually abused. Then I meet a Lyle Best or a Can Thrash, or I meet these amazing leaders, and they're with me. And that's what I've learned about those people. That's what I've learned about Nicole. And for Nicole, it's a completely different level because, man, she's grinding this out with me. Like, it's a grind. 100 days of getting in and out of hotels every night. And I don't think she wants to do another one. She's been kind of clear on that. But I'm pretty sure if I asked her to do something, she would be there. And I think she wants to help me build Heroes Unleashed. And she deserves just as much of the spotlight as I get, but she doesn't get it. She doesn't. People don't connect that to her. And so from my perspective, I've over the past 3 missions, there's just more respect and more, just, I don't know what I'd do without her type of mindset. It's like, there's no way I could do this stuff without a person like that in my life. Like you have to be selfless to do that. And that's what Nicole's like. So we have our fights. I'm grumpy, and she puts up with it and marches forward. So yeah, we're gonna have a nice vacation after this.
Well, you deserve it. How's your body holding up? What's been the most shocking thing for you regarding your physical fitness? Were you prepared? Were you not prepared? Especially after what you did last year with the Ride for Change.
My body's sore. I don't really stand straight up. I go kind of hunched over. My hips are in a bad way, but once I get rolling, my body responds. And I've posted a couple times that if you think it, your body is not going to be the limiting factor. You just have to think it and then ask your body to participate. As I was riding today, I actually thought to myself, I wonder what people think when they see this. I called myself an old guy riding up this mountain that they just drove down from, so they know what I've got to go up. And they see me in this hot sun going 8 kilometers an hour. So in miles, I don't even know what that would be, like 6.5, something like that, like very slow. And they're driving down heading towards their cabin for the weekend, and they see this old guy riding this bike, and I don't know what they think. But in my mind, I'm just like, I'm doing things that my body is stepping up. Like it doesn't let me down. And I'm sore, I'm old, I've got degeneration, I've got things going on, but my body is stepping up. And I'm more mentally tough this year because, like I said to you earlier, I look at rain and wind now as bring it on. Who cares? I don't have to go 150. Is it more impressive to cycle 150 kilometers in perfect weather or cycle 20 kilometers through the worst conditions possible? I want to be the guy cycling through those worst conditions because I'm not trying to break records. I'm trying to prove how tough we can be and how strong we can be. So I used to wake up in the morning last year. Is it windy? Is it raining? Is it cold? Now I wake up and just say, let's go. And I'll cycle till I can't cycle anymore. Today I actually didn't want to stop. I had meetings and I had this call with you. I could have cycled another 50K today in heat that was, for a lot of people would be unbearable. So my body's doing great. My mind is getting stronger.
You're really starting to sound like David Goggins, just FYI.
I'm going to challenge him to a runoff. I don't think he'd accept.
All right. Matt Devine just challenged David Goggins.
Yeah.
I don't know when, I don't know where, but I'm putting it out on the Life Edge podcast.
Yeah.
We'll be there to cover that one live.
Yeah, he's too busy jumping out of planes and fighting fires. But listen, I got a lot of respect for David Goggins. He's like an incredible man. But what's different about me and David Goggins is I have a lot of very visible flaws. And what I'm trying to demonstrate isn't how tough a person can be. That's David Goggins. He's a Navy SEAL, all these things. I'm trying to show people how tough they can be while recognizing that we have so many things going on that, want to hold us back, whether it be mentally or physically. I want to talk about my sore hip. I want to talk about my sore knee. I want to talk about my mental health. But by the way, I can go out and I can do something pretty amazing, and I can raise some money, and I can help kids, and I can inspire people. So Nicole got mad at me the other day because when people say, well, you're a really cool athlete, you're a great athlete, and I'm like, no, I'm not an athlete. And I was sitting beside Jody Barrett, and Jody said, man, I don't know why you say that. Why do you say you're not an athlete? I said, because I am a business guy that got on a bike and rode across Canada, and she said, it doesn't matter. What you're doing is very athletic. You are an extreme athlete from an endurance perspective. More so because of your age. Like what you're doing is not of the norm. And I honestly think to myself every day, I'm like, I'm so lucky that, this old guy can get out there and I somehow want to kind of like push myself down and not recognize that, no, I can go out there and I can grind. And I should embrace that and be more proud of it. But it's not a matter of being humble. It's a matter of, I don't know, I just don't see myself. Like, I think David Goggins knows he's the man. Like, I think he knows what he does is incredible, and rightly so. I don't see that. I don't see that in myself, but I'm starting to see more of this incredible power we have within us. And maybe what I've just figured out is how to unleash it.
I hope that you're enjoying this episode brought to you by Aceva. Aceva offers all-natural, clinically inspired nutritional products which are designed to help you live life to your full potential. They create custom supplement packs that are tailored specifically to your needs. With Aceva, you take a short quiz, and from your answers, they build a custom supplement pack just for you. I've been using Aceva for a while now. I have more energy, I'm recovering faster, and I'm even sleeping better. And the best part is that these supplements come pre-packed and are labeled AM, PM, and before bed. This helps ensure that I'm getting exactly what my body needs when it needs it. If you're not taking a daily supplement or are just unhappy with your current one, I highly recommend taking Aceva's short quiz and trying one of their custom supplement packs. And if you use code LifeEdge at checkout, you'll save 50% off your purchase or subscription. but you'll also help support this podcast. You can find the link down below. Now back to our conversation. Well, I must say, for being someone who's 20 years my senior, it's very impressive because I don't want to be doing what you're doing.
You will. Trust me. You try. Listen. You're in this build phase right now. We talked about this earlier. The lessons you learn on the road, they're transferable to your home. They're transferable to your boardroom. You're in a build phase. You're gonna reach levels of success, and you're gonna put a check mark by them and say, I've done that. And you're gonna pay your mortgages, and you're gonna pay off your cars. And if you have kids, you're gonna raise them, and they're gonna grow up. What defines you today will not define you tomorrow. I don't think I could go back to work today and be told I'm the CEO of the biggest company in the world and here's a $10 million paycheck and be happy. Because it doesn't matter to me anymore. That whole measurement system is foreign to me. Now
what would make you happy?
This. I just did something incredible today. I'm talking to a friend. I'm trying to say things that I've learned that may just inspire somebody. I'm riding into an event on August 4th in Edmonton, Alberta, and I'm going to be greeted by friends and family and supporters and the charity that we supported. And it's not about, look what I've done. It's about, look what we've done. We've done this incredible thing. I have, with the help of Nicole, we've created a conversation. And whether 100 people show up or 500 people show up, I hope 500, but maybe just 100. We've started a conversation. And as I said to you earlier, this conversation can't stop. It doesn't mean I have to ride across Canada every year. What it does mean is I need to start to translate what goes through my head on the bike into pieces of information that I can share. And as I said to anybody I talk to, if you want to talk to me, ask me a question, then do so. The worst thing anybody out there can do is not engage, because as far as I'm concerned, if people are engaging with me through whatever mechanism, whether it's social media or through an email, the more people that engage, the more I want to do, the more I want to pump this up. I do not want to be someone on a stage when there's nobody in the crowd. That's the worst thing. So if people are hearing this and they're getting any value or excitement out of this story or the philosophy of Heroes Unleashed, reach out, talk to us, tell us what you think, ask questions. Sometimes I talk in the brick for 20 minutes about my story. Everybody forgets. I was once 300 pounds, 5 years away from having a heart attack. I drank, I smoke. I'm standing in front of you, whether it's the people at the brick or your audience, and I just cycled up I don't know how high I cycled today. It felt very, very hot and high. But, there's so much to dissect there. And I just want to share it with people. So for me, what looks good in the future is having the opportunity. But it's certainly not a monetary thing anymore. The only thing I need is, good partnerships. And that's what I'm looking for. So I think that's how I'm going to weigh this going forward. And hopefully we can keep something going and fill the auditorium.
Last year, you had this saying, whisper to a roar, and you continued that theme going into this year. And over the last 2 years, the whisper has gotten louder and louder, and you're building momentum. And I can see it in the size of the groups that are showing up to greet you at each location. You can see it in the traction that you're starting to get on social media as far as the views. What is the next step? What's next to continue making that whisper louder and louder until it becomes a roar?
We've got to extrapolate or elevate what happens in these 3-month missions to something that's sustainable and lives beyond that. That's number one. Number two, we have to bring more people into the conversation because it can't always be Matt and Nicole. Number three, we have to engage the community and businesses. The businesses are critical here. They are going to fund this unstoppable force, but we have to show them value. We can't just say, give us money. So if I talk to a business now and say, listen, I'm going to go ride across Canada and I'm asking some money so I can put your name on the van to do this, they might say, well, why not? Why don't I just write the check to the charity? Well, my response would be, you can do that, or you can support us. We can promote you and give you some amazing benefits, leadership, mindset, all the stuff that come with it. And we can elevate your dollar to $10, to $20. We can create more awareness. This is what we have to start to think about. We have to think about this as a business now and really start to push, almost like a business plan with goals and objectives and a strategic plan. I think we've got enough credibility now where I can say to people, no, we're pretty good at what we do. We create a ton of awareness. We broke several records for You Can Ride too from a donations perspective. We had the CEO of Little Warrior say, you're a PR machine. We have ignited a passion throughout Canada for 5,000 employees of the Brick, and they're going to be at the finish line when I cross. So there's no reason why this needs to be a guy riding across doing these endurance events. We've got enough here to create something that lives beyond and above what started off as one guy and one lady driving a van through the Rockies as he ran. It's bigger than that. What we need from people, though, is interest. I think people, and I don't mean to say this in a bad way, I think people just expect that it's always going to be there. And maybe people don't care. Maybe they, you know what, Matt, you talk too much, or it's actually pretty boring what you do. But if you do find it interesting, you need to weigh in. You need to let us know. You have to help us spread the message. Otherwise, I have no way of knowing that what I'm saying or what we're doing is making any difference. We get these one-off conversations, as I said, people coming up to us and saying we're survivors. You're giving us a voice. That resonates with us. If you're somebody out there hearing my story, he was once 300 pounds and now he's cycling and running and doing all these crazy things, speak up. Talk to us. Follow us. Share our mission. It's not about popularity anymore. It's about sustainment. And we can't do that unless people get involved and say, you know, what you do and what you say and what Heroes Unleashed represents interests us. It does. If people don't step up and start telling us and giving us that feedback, we don't know. And to this day, even to this day, I have these moments of, you know, I really hope what we're doing. It's a little bit it's difficult because when you're at events, you get these moments of, wow, I can't believe we're actually making this impact. And then you have 4 or 5 days of grinding on the road and things are kind of at a low boil and you're wondering, you know, hey, we just need people to kind of say, you know, like, just don't think it. Let us know. Get involved. Become part of the Heroes Unleashed community.
How do they do that?
Well, follow us on social media, but more importantly, spread the message. Talk about us. Show up August 4th. Reach out to us. heroesunleashed.ca. There's an email there. info@heroesunleashed.ca. Ask us questions. Tell us what you're thinking. We're on the news. We're in social media. If you see something and it resonates, say something. Follow us. And if we're really making a positive impact in your life, donate to Little Warriors. There's a really good outcome for us if we can create more awareness for the charity and create more dollars for them.
Tell us about the event on August 4th.
Oh, very proud of it. Very nervous. So we talked about this event, you know, cycling last year. What people don't know is that we don't get off the bike ever and eat and go to bed. It's 3-4 hours of work. Me asking a million questions to Nicole. Did we do this? Did we hear from that? And she's on her computer trying to figure out who's going to show up and what food trucks we can get and have we paid for that and did we get that? It's constant work. that has went into this August 4th event. And what we're trying to do is bring the community together. No charge, kid-friendly, all-inclusive, fitness-inspired event where people can come out, hang out for the day. We have a live band. We have fitness demos. We have product people there, like an ice bath for recovery. We're going to talk about recovery and breathing techniques. As I said to you, we have the world record holder, yet to be certified, but he submerged himself in ice for 4+ hours. He talks about mindset and breathing. We've got, as I said, really cool fitness demos. And you're going to hear some inspiring stories. We're going to talk about Heroes Unleashed. We have some amazing businesses coming out who supported us. So it's a conversation and a hangout, and we hope people walk away going, that was really cool. And it's free. What do you have to lose? You get to hang out with some really cool people, and they're going to show you how to swing a kettlebell or do a push-up or talk about mindset a little bit, maybe get inspired, and have some ice cream with the kids. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is go onto Eventbrite and register, and you're in.
I love it. And we'll make sure to include the link to that down below in the notes. I wanted to ask you, as you were talking there, you've said the word hero several times. What is a hero to you?
Well, I think a hero is somebody who does something absolutely incredible that benefits the world around him, the community, the people in his life, strangers, and he does that, or she does that, with zero ego. Ultimately, I would like to say that I don't need to be on social media. I'll do whatever it is I need to do, and if people don't like me, that's fine. Like, if I could cleanse myself of those negative feelings and continue to do what I'm doing, I've become altruistic. I've actually started to do things for the higher good. One of our sponsors, Jesse Benson at Fit Integrated, he believes that everybody should have access to a trainer. They should have, like a doctor, for free. You should have access to a trainer. That's how important it is. And that's a great example of a man with a heroic thought, with a heroic mission. He's not thinking about how much he can charge. And I mean, he owns a fitness company. He's trying to figure out how to give this to the people. He's trying to create a society where this is available. That's a hero, you know. I've moved the dial for myself. As I said before, when I started this, I had a lot of selfish reasons to be doing this. Less so now, because I know that I'm not going to become Mr. Popular. I'm not going to become the Canadian David Goggins. That's not going to happen. But yet I'm still doing this. And to me, that's progression. Because the first time I did this, I actually thought I could become Mr. Popular, Mr. Endurance Athlete. Well, after 2 of these, now almost 3, I know that's not the case. So for me, I feel more proud of myself because I'm doing it for the right reasons, more so than what were my original reasons, which were selfish. So that for me is what a hero should look like. Someone who does these things with the higher good in mind and with no internal rewards required.
So would you consider what you did with the 7 and 7 and the Ride for Change, would you consider the Matt Devine of those adventures a hero or no?
I would say that those were years 1 and 2 at the Hero Academy. I haven't graduated yet. I'm getting closer to earning my degree as a hero, but not right now. And I'll only say that hero almost sounds like I'm something very special. I think a hero is something everybody can be. It's just being the best version of yourself. It's becoming that fit, happy individual that achieves those goals with a higher purpose. You're obviously getting fit for yourself. You're obviously doing a lot of things to create happiness for yourself. But it's a circle that comes back. When you do something good for somebody, you will feel happier. You can, achieve fitness by helping others. And I think that's what people have to realize. And it scales up to corporations. if you're a corporation that has a workforce that is fit and happy, I can guarantee you're going to be more profitable, and you're going to have a healthier community to operate in. So for me, it's not just about being a hero as an individual. We need these corporations to take on these same attitudes, these same philosophies. And if anybody thinks it's a loss, they're crazy, because it's not. Imagine employees that want to come to work because they're having fun and they're inspired and they're fit and they're happy. So it's a situation I want to see happen, and that's what Heroes Unleashed is all about.
Well, Matt, I appreciate your humility, and I think you're a hero, and I think what you're doing is amazing. And I would love to encourage the listener, the viewer, to go check out heroesunleashed.ca. Also, if you can, donate to Little Warriors, whether you're listening to this a week after it comes out or 6 months after it comes out. They'll still accept the donation, and you're donating to a great cause. I can't thank you enough for what you've done, letting me be a part of the journey. I hope that you and Nicole are enjoying yourselves, but most importantly, I hope that this event turns out August 4th, that people show up, and that you can make a great impact for the Little Warriors.
Well, thank you, Chris. We will. I know we're going to continue to, cross paths as we go forward. And I just want to make sure that everybody out there understands that whether it's today, tomorrow, or 10 years from now, well, I will continue to do a push-up for every dollar that's donated under the event Cross Canada Challenge. I can't say money donated to the Little Warriors because some rich corporation could come in but if you donate in a week, 2 weeks from now under that Cross Canada Challenge, as long as it stays open, I will do a push-up, and I will try my best to keep some form of the Impact Movement Challenge going forward, because I love the energy around that thing. People are showing up, they're working out, they're entering their results, and I want to hear from people. Like, not enough people say, you know what, man, I'm smashing out workouts now again, and it's changing my life, and I feel great. Listen, we want to fight the battle with you, but we also want to celebrate the victories. So I know there's a few people close to you, Chris, that are just showing up every day and doing great things. We have someone in our lives, Nicole's mom, who's 6 on the individual leaderboard. 6. Wow. At the age of 82, 83 years old. She walked 16 kilometers the other day. And I'm not talking just, shuffling off to the bingo hall. She walks. So anyways, her name's Claudia. She's on the leaderboard. She's showing up every day. And there's an example. There's a fitness hero right there. She's doing it. She's helping others. She's amazing with charities. So maybe that's the heroes we should be promoting. Not this old guy on the bike, but that's what makes me happy.
Well, Matt, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing, what you and Nicole have done, and just thank you again for letting me help share your story.
Brother, I reached out because I knew somebody. I know you can help me tell this story unlike anybody else. So once again, what a great conversation, and we will talk again very soon. And for anybody out there that is hearing this podcast, thank you. I hope you watch it to the very end, and I hope you enjoy it.